I've got a nice place here. Oh, go inside.
I'm paralyzed with happiness.
I stopped off in Chicago for a day on my way east.
Do they miss me?
The whole town is desolate.
Oh, Tom, let's go back tomorrow. You must see the baby, but she's sleeping.
What do you do, Nick?
Tom and I talked about my job and where I worked. He hadn't heard of the company before. I found that annoying.
You will hear of them if you stay in the east.
Oh, I will. No worries. I'd be a goddamn fool to live anywhere else.
Absolutely. I'm stiff. I've been lying on the couch for far too long. You live in the West Egg. I know somebody who lives there.
I don't know a
You
single...
must know Gatsby.
Gatsby? What Gatsby?
Dinner!
Civilization's going to pieces. I've gotten to be pessimistic about things. Have you read The Rise of the Colored Empires by this man Godin?
No lie.
It's a fine book and everybody ought to read it. The idea is, if we don't look out, the white race will be submerged. It's scientific, it's been proved. This fellow has it all worked out. It's up to us, who are the dominant race, to watch out. These other races will have control of things.
We've got to beat them down. Excuse me.
This man named Gatsby that you speak of, he is my neighbor.
Don't talk. I want to hear what's happening.
Is something going on?
You mean you don't know? I thought everybody knew.
I don't.
Why? Tom's got some woman in New York.
Some woman?
One night that summer, I was sitting on my porch when I saw Gatsby stumble out of the shadows. I wanted to say hello, but he dropped to his knees, stretching his arms out, and began to tremble. I glanced across the water to see he was reaching for a peculiar and alluring green light. About halfway between the West Egg, where my new home is, and New York, there's a desolate land called the Valley of Ashes. One day when I was with Tom, he took me to the Valley of Ashes to meet his mistress. We came upon a small yellow brick building sitting on the edge of the wasteland. The building contained George Wilson's garage. This is the exchange that took place.
Hello, Wilson, old man. How's business?
I can't complain. When are you going to sell me that car?
Next week.
Get some chairs, George, so somebody can sit down.
I want to see you. Be in the next train.
All right.
See you at the apartment. Terrible place, isn't it?
Awful.
Does her good to get away.
Doesn't her husband object, though?
Wilson? He thinks she's in New York visiting her sister. He's so dumb.
We went to the apartment. It was very small. We met Myrtle there along with a few new people, Catherine Myrtle's sister, and Mr. and Mrs. McKee. We all got very drunk, so I don't remember too much. However, this I remember.
Daisy, Daisy, Daisy. I'll say it whenever I want to. Daisy, Daisy.
Come to lunch sometime.
Where?
Anywhere.
One summer night, I went to one of Gatsby's elaborate parties. I was about the only one who was invited, though.
Hello.
I thought you'd be here.
We sat with a couple of girls, and in this time I learned there are many rumors about Gatsby. Then we set off to find Gatsby.
Let's get out of here. This is too late for me.
Soon we met this man.
Weren't you in the 3rd Division during the war?
Why, yes, I was in the 19th Machine Gun Battalion.
I was in the 17th Infantry until June 1918. I thought I'd seen you somewhere before.
We talked for a while, and then I learned that this man was Gatsby. I learned from Jordan that Daisy and Gatsby used to be together. Gatsby bought his house so that it would be right across the bay from Daisy's.
He wants to know if you'll invite Daisy over one afternoon while he's here.
She told me all about their past and about Gatsby's plan.
Does she even want to see Gatsby?
She does not to know about it. Gatsby does not want her to know. Invite her over to tea.
No one's coming. It's too late. I can't take this.
Don't be silly. It's just 2 minutes to 4.
Is this absolutely where you live, my dearest one?
Well, that's funny.
What's funny? I'm certainly awfully glad to see you again.
We've met before.
That was a long time ago.
5 years next November. This is a terrible mistake. A terrible, terrible mistake.
You're just embarrassed. That's all Daisy is, too.
She is?
Just as much as you are.
Tom was evidently perturbed at Daisy's running around alone, for on the following Saturday night he came with her to Gatsby's party. Daisy spent the night dancing with Gatsby, and then they went and sat together on my porch. On a really hot day, me and Gatsby were invited to the Buchanans. We entered the living room to find Daisy laying on the couch.
I can't move.
And Mr. Thomas Buchanan, the athlete?
Mr. Gatsby, it's wonderful to see you again, son. Nick?
Make us some cold drinks. You know I love you.
After a while, we decided to go into the city. We decided to get a hotel room to try to beat out the heat. This is the following exchange that took place.
I've got something to tell you, old sport.
Please don't.
I want to hear what Gatsby has to say.
Your wife never loved you. She never did. She loves me.
You're crazy.
She never loved you, do you hear?
Daisy, sit down. I want to hear what's been going on.
After a while of awkward arguing, Tom told Daisy to leave with Gatsby. Soon after they left, I left with Tom, and on our way home, we discovered that this had happened. Myrtle had been hit by a car, a yellow car. Tom, as upset as he was, informed Wilson of the information he needed. Although the information was wrong, because Daisy had been the one behind the wheel, it had been enough for Wilson. I don't know if Tom just didn't realize what would happen, or if he just didn't care, but this was the beginning of the end.
And then you roll in and it says Cody and you're all like, actually shoot everyone.
Derek, it's your line.
I've got something to tell you, old sport.
Go on.
Go on! Go on!
Oh my god.
I thought we were gonna go to the very beginning.
You want to go to the don't give big parties. I suppose the only way to make friends is to make your house a pigsty.
I got something to tell you, old sport.
Please don't.
I want to hear what Gatsby has to say.
Your wife never loved you. She never did. She loves me.
You're crazy.
Yee. This is a terrible mistake. A terrible, terrible mistake.
You're just embarrassed. That's all Daisy is, too.
Derek!
Bloopers.
invite Daisy to our house some afternoon and let him come over.
She told me all about their past and Gatsby's and about Gatsby's.
Keep going.
Oh my eyes.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, because this can all be part of. I'll cut.
Oh crap!
Cut it. In and out. Keep going.
Does she want to see Gatsby?
She's not to know about it. Gatsby does not want her to know. Just invite her to tea. He wants.
Hello.
I thought you'd be here.
Civilization's going to pieces. I've gotten to be pessimistic about things. Have you read The Rise of the Colored Races by this man Godden?
No, why?
It's a fine book and everybody ought to read it. The idea is if we, is it the right? Civilization's going to pieces and I've gotten to be Civilization's going to pieces. I've gotten to be pessimistic about things. Have you read The Rise of the Colored Empires by this man Godden?
No, why?
It's a fine book and everybody ought to read it. The idea is if we don't look out, the white race will be submerged.
You live in the West Egg. I know somebody who lives there.
I don't know a single.
You must know Gatsby.
Gatsby? What Gatsby?
Dinner!